What's up, everybody? It is the Best Spot Kid Smooth, and I'm back with a quick video, and I promise I'm going to try to do my best to make weekly content again. Like, goal is a video a day, but it's not possible without putting out bull crap, right? So I was away this weekend, had celebrated the kid's birthday, did some fun things and whatnot. But also at the same time, the Xbox was like putting out freaking hit after hit. Like, we got Oblivion Remaster, which was the rumored shadow drop that actually happened. I think everybody was off by a day. I think it was rumored for April 21st. It came out on the 22nd. And we got Expedition 33, which came out and knocked everyone's socks off a day later. It's, I think, at like a 92 Metacritic. I think it's one of the highest rated games of the year, one of the best new IPs. I want to give my thoughts on these games and pretty much where Xbox stands. My last video I've recorded, which is probably a week old now, where I was pretty much venting again how like Xbox, killing its like brand essentially by this multiplayer. The thing is that, and I stand by this, if Xbox remained competitive in the console space as far as like versus PlayStation and Nintendo, nobody would be touching them right now. Now, will they still sell? Like, probably no. People are brainwashed by Nintendo and PlayStation. I do think they would have been an uptick. So yeah, it's hard to tell me the Phantom the idea that an Oblivion remake that come out, right, that would, let's say, was exclusive to Xbox and PC, Game Pass, and like obviously you have like Expedition, which is available everywhere, and then you had, let's say, Doom remained exclusive. Like, it would be hard to believe that nobody would still would not want an Xbox, right? But that's neither here or there. At the end of the day, Xbox is a third party now. It is what it is. They still have a console, which is great, but this is they're producing at such an elite level. It's incredible. I think every game on my dashboard is a first party title, with the exception of like Oddworld and let me stop. Expedition is not a first party. The thing is that, so the reason why I bring Xbox into these two great games that released, the Oblivion. Now I will say, and people will quote, because I think I tweeted. I tweeted something about Bethesda games. Like, this is before Xbox acquired Bethesda, but that people floated around after I was celebrating the ZeniMax acquisition. But there's only one Elder Scrolls game that I've actually played, like dove in and played and got through. I don't think I've ever beaten it, but I know I closed like several Oblivion gates in this game, and that was Elder Scrolls Oblivion. It came out like 3-4 months after the Xbox 360 release. It was the first major RPG game I've ever purchased. It was the first game revealed for the 360 back in like 2004 when that Game Informer magazine came out. I had it. I think I still have that magazine. And it was one of the most games I was hyped for, along with Gears of War, etc. But so when the remake came out, they did the remake or remaster or whatever. It was a no-brainer because it's the Elder Scrolls game I'm most familiar with, and just like that, they dropped it. It looks great. It plays great, and I was able to play without getting like bored. So I'm rocking with that. And I was afraid that, because I was looking forward to Expedition 33. Now, the thing about Expedition 33, reason why I wasn't super hyped, because of one reason, and that's because it is a turn-based game. So I was looking forward that it was coming to Game Pass. I could get to try it. It looks graphically amazing, but I wasn't really like, whatever, it's a turn-based. I'm probably going to drop it like I dropped like Persona or something like that. Now, it comes, I played it. After the prologue, it hooked me. And once it hooked me, I had to drop Oblivion. Now, Oblivion is definitely getting played after I get through, because Expedition 33, I believe, is a shorter game. But Expedition 33 is it's an incredible game. Like, I don't like turn-based RPGs because I just don't like the gameplay loops of them. The way a lot of them are made, it's a lot of walking, a lot of dialogue, and then you finally get into these combats, and then it's like, his turn, my turn, and Expedition 33, in my opinion, redefined how you can do turn-based RPGs. These guys managed to do your turn-based action, your typical party setup, but they managed to incorporate like a Souls-like combat. Like in the middle of your turn-based, you have the ability to dodge and parry in real time. Like it's not like you waste a turn doing it. It's like, all right, I hit my I hit my move. Now they're probably going to hit me with something, and I have a chance to protect myself either via parry and deal some more damage, or with a dodge and take no damage. That was one of the best things. It literally changed. Now I can't play a turn-based RPG unless it has that. I was like, after I beat this game, I can probably play, some of those turn-based RPGs that I've been trying to avoid. And I'm like, probably not. You know what I mean? Because this game has the perfect pace. It has an awesome gameplay loop. And the thing about their gameplay loop, now some people will say it doesn't make sense to do this. Like they throw a lot of things in a way of the game in between battles. When you're traversing, there's platforming. It might be unnecessary, some of the platforming in a game. There's obviously collectibles. There's the game is gorgeous. There's little puzzles you can do. The story is very, 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 very deep, man. Very deep. I think of when it comes to story, right, and shock value and impact. Think of Game of Thrones, and think of what's that freaking Marvel Avengers movie, with Thanos. It's concepts like that, but the thing is, it's throughout the entire game, that type of impact. So they did a wonderful job with this game. I am happy that it's on Game Pass. This is the game that I'm currently playing, Expedition 33. Didn't think I would like it. It's deserving of all the scores that it's gotten. This is definitely easily a Game of the Year nominee. And the reason why I'm speaking so highly of not just of Expedition 33, but obviously Oblivion's great and whatnot. It's just that is the conversation going to end? Like, you know what I mean? So obviously, even though there's like really with the whole console war, and when Xbox has like no games and stuff, that's clearly over. And what Xbox is doing this year is they already destroyed the narrative that they don't have any games. I feel like the better half of the last 4 years, they've been dropping bangers, in my opinion. But they've also destroyed the narrative of Game Pass. There's no good games in Game Pass, or Game Passes for cheap games and stuff like that. Or, you know what I mean? Where look at these bangers. Look at these bangers, man. There's legit Game of the Year contenders in Game Pass. There's straight up big hits in Game Pass. When you factor in Call of Duty, when you factor in Doom, is probably going to be a Game of the Year finalist. Expedition definitely. Best remake or remaster, Oblivion is probably taking that. Like South of Midnight had launched. Xbox since the ball drop has been knocking it out the park with the Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, which was the first game I beat the year. I was impressed with that. And they got they're publishing Ninja Gaiden 4, which is coming out later this year. So it's they don't actually need to do, even though Phil Spencer said they got some other games coming and whatnot, but when you factor in, obviously it was disappointed that there was no Fable, but when you factor in what they dropped Ninja Gaiden in January, they dropped Avowed in February, which is a Game of the Year contender for me personally so far. They dropped Avowed in February. March, they got Adamfall in the Game Pass along with a few other games. In April, South of Midnight, which was a surprise hit, one of my favorite games this year, turned around a few weeks later, dropped Oblivion, and Expeditions coming out, and then you got the rest of the year. You got Doom next month, and we're at the end of April, so you got Doom in a couple weeks, and then you got Tony Hawk in July. You got their showcase in June. Technically, this Oblivion game should have came out in June. They would have been good. And then you got 3 games remaining. You have The Outer Worlds 2, which is their big showcase game. You have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, which is July, and then you have well, damn, I already mentioned it. You got 4. You got Call of Duty, which is going to come out this year, and you have Ninja Gaiden 4. So any other surprises that they got is just like really extra. So this year has just been extremely like just full of like bangers. And honestly, I really don't understand how people do it. God bless you if you can afford all the games that are coming out at this clip. I'm happy. Like I said, I got Game Pass and which makes playing these games a lot easier, a lot, instead of like, hey, now I'll wait for that one, but these games, because they're coming out at such a consistent clip. You know what I mean? Oblivion was $50. Expedition 50. Actually, Expedition 33 honestly could have easily been a $70 game made by 30 people. They're definitely putting AAA production to shame, considering all the money that's wasted, all the time that is taken. These guys, a team of 30, put out this. And what feels like they've redefined the genre of turn-based RPGs. Kudos to them. I think they're what is their team called? Sandfall. Shout out to Sandfall and Keebler. Keebler is an underrated publisher, by the way. But yeah, man, Xbox is doing their thing. I'm happy for it. Game Pass is happy for it. Like, it would be shocked to see all these bangers in Game Pass and not subscribe. I'm still shocked that the most affordable way to game is really on Xbox, right? Really, like, you know what I mean? I know a lot of people are trying to oversell their, the PS5 and the PS5 Pro. I still stand by what I feel with a lot of these games. Not that big of a difference where I feel willing to fork up, $700, $800. You know what I mean? If my Xbox can't do it, I'm gonna play it on my PC. That's pretty much how I got to treat it, honestly. But no, man. So far it's a really good year. Expedition 33 is a banger. Oblivion's a banger. I'm actually now a little bit more excited for the summer showcase because it's like, what else can you actually put out this year? Their showcase literally could be full of 2026 games, and I would be fine because 2025 is okay. Even though there's no Halo, Gears or Fable type for the mix. Obviously, Call of Duty is your annual hit. The Outer Worlds 2 I feel like, has the potential to be a marquee. The first game was such a dope game, and all they're doing is improving the one that already looks good. I haven't been watching a lot of the previews on IGN because I'll reserve that digestion for the showcase, and then the game. I feel like the game is probably sooner rather than later. I think that game is probably coming in September. In my opinion, that's where I think it's going to fall, and I think Call of Duty and Ninja Gaiden is locking down November. But yeah, man. So let me know your thoughts on Expedition 33. I'm actually at a part that I'm struggling now. I'll just show you before we end the video exactly where I'm at in the game. I'm right here. Actually, most of my play is actually been on PC, but I felt like I need to start capturing some gameplay, and I don't like capturing gameplay on I don't like capturing gameplay on PC for PC because it disrupts the performance like badly. So when I want some gameplay, I got to put it on console, and the Avermedia records it in the highest quality. So that's the video, guys. Thank you, guys. I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow for another video. Let's see what happens. All right. Xbox is the best box. I am the best bot. Good night or good morning. If you're on the other side of the globe, I'm out of here. Peace.